Well-known surfer, lifeguard, and actor has died in a shark attack on the island of Oahu.
The sun rose over Oahu's North Shore, casting golden streaks across the waves as they crashed against the reef. It was a perfect day for surfing, the kind of day that Tamayo Perry had lived for. A legend of the waves, a fearless rider of the deadly bonsai pipeline, and a lifeguard who had saved countless lives, Perry had spent years mastering the ocean's raw power. But on June 23, 2024, the sea he had dedicated his life to turned against him. What started as a routine surf session became a nightmare. Out in the water, where he had always felt safest, something lurked beneath the surface. A shadow moved. Then, in an instant, the ocean exploded in chaos. The next few moments would be his last. This is the shocking true story of Tamayo Perry's final wave. The calm before the storm. Tamayo Perry had spent his life reading the ocean, understanding its rhythms, its moods, its power. He knew the waters of Oahu's North Shore better than most people know their own backyards. But on June 23, 2024, something felt different. Was it just another day on the waves? Or was there an unspoken warning in the air that even a seasoned waterman like Tamayo couldn't sense? The thing about shark attacks is that they don't happen the way most people imagine. Hollywood loves to show a massive fin slicing through the water, a dramatic buildup before the strike. But in reality, there's no warning, no time to react. One moment, everything is peaceful. The next, it's pure chaos. Tamayo paddled out that morning chasing perfection, just like he had for years. But did he notice anything strange? Had there been shark sightings in the area recently? Locals often say that when the ocean goes silent, something is coming. Did he hear the eerie stillness before the attack? And then there's the location. Goat Island is known for its raw, untouched beauty, a place where nature rules without interference. It's not a crowded tourist beach with lifeguards on every post. It's wild, untamed. And that means one thing. Out there, in the deep, humans are no longer at the top of the food chain. But here's the real question. Why Tamayo? He was a lifeguard, a man trained to recognize danger before it struck, a man who had saved countless others from the ocean's grip. How could someone so experienced, so in tune with the sea, fall victim to one of its deadliest predators? Was it just horrific bad luck? A case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was there something more to it? Because let's be honest, sharks don't target humans. They're not the monsters people make them out to be. Most attacks are mistakes, moments of confusion in murky waters. But in Tamayo's case, this wasn't a simple bite and release. This was something else. Could it be that this shark was starving, desperate enough to break its usual patterns? Was there something in the water conditions that triggered aggression? Or was it possible that Tamayo's movements, his board slicing through the waves, mimicked the prey that sharks are wired to hunt? And what about the response? Lifeguards at North Shore are some of the best in the world. The men and women patrolling those beaches know that ocean like the back of their hands. When the call came in, when someone spotted the blood in the water, they moved fast. But the real question is, was there ever a chance? Did he fight? Did he try to break free? Did he even know what hit him? Or was it all over before he even had time to react? So many questions, no easy answers. But one thing is clear. Tamayo Perry, the man who had dedicated his life to the ocean, never expected his final wave to end this way. And what happened next is even more unbelievable. The unfolding nightmare. The ocean was calm. The waves rolled in steady, predictable sets, just as they always had. For Tamayo Perry, this was home. He had paddled out that morning with the same confidence he carried every time he entered the water. But what he didn't know, what no one knew, was that beneath the surface something was already watching. Sharks don't give warnings. There's no time to react, no chance to fight back in those first crucial seconds. And that's exactly what happened. Eyewitnesses say it happened fast, too fast. One moment, Perry was gliding across the water, his board carving through the waves like he had done thousands of times before. The next, the ocean erupted around him. A tiger shark, estimated to be over 12 feet long, came from below. This wasn't a hesitant bite. It wasn't a case of mistaken identity where the shark realized too late that it wasn't attacking a seal. This was different. The force of the strike sent Perry flying off his board, and before he even had a chance to react, the shark came back. It latched onto his leg first, its serrated teeth slicing through flesh and bone with horrifying precision. The ocean turned red, blood mixing with the turquoise waters of the North Shore. Perry fought. Of course, he fought. Years of lifeguard training, of knowing exactly what to do in moments of crisis, kicked in. He struck at the shark's nose, aiming for the eyes, the gills, anywhere that could make it let go. But it didn't let go. The second bite came just as fast as the first. His arm? Gone. At this point, Perry was still alive, still fighting, still trying to reach the surface, trying to escape. But the damage was catastrophic. With that much blood in the water, his body was shutting down fast. The ocean, the very thing that had given him life, was now pulling him under. From the shore, someone saw the attack. A surfer, a beachgoer, another lifeguard. The alarm went up immediately. Within seconds, lifeguards were on the move. Jet skis roared across the waves, cutting through the surf with laser focus. These were Perry's own colleagues, the men and women he had worked with, trained with, laughed with. Now they were fighting against time to save one of their own. When they reached him, he was still conscious. Barely. His body was limp, his skin pale, his blood pouring into the water like ink spilling into the sea. They pulled him onto the sled, racing against the clock. But deep down, they knew. They knew the injuries were too severe. They knew that even if they made it back to shore, even if paramedics were waiting, the ocean had already taken too much from him. They still fought for him. CPR, pressure on the wounds, anything to keep him alive. But by the time they reached the sand, Tamayo Perry was gone. Now, the biggest question remains: why? Shark attacks happen, but not like this. This wasn't a curious nibble. This wasn't a shark testing its environment. This was a full-scale predatory attack. Was the shark starving? Some experts believe that warming ocean temperatures and declining fish populations are making sharks more aggressive, more willing to take risks they normally wouldn't. Was it territorial? Tiger sharks are known to be dominant hunters in their environment. Could it have seen Perry as competition rather than prey? Or was it something else entirely? Sharks are highly sensitive to vibrations in the water. Could it be that Perry's movements, his paddling, his surfboard slicing through the waves, triggered an instinctual response? Did the shark mistake him for a wounded animal, an easy meal? Whatever the reason, one thing is certain. Tamayo Perry, a man who had spent his life in the ocean, never thought he would lose his life to it. But what happened next? What did the world do in response? And what does this mean for the future of extreme sports, for surfers, for anyone who dares to push the limits of nature?
I feel so upset and devastated, but I also have a weird calmness in my heart knowing that he's in a better place.
The legacy of Tamayo Perry and the future of the ocean. Tamayo Perry was more than just a surfer. He was a guardian of the ocean, a lifeguard who dedicated his life to protecting others from the very dangers that took him in the end. His death sent shockwaves through the surfing community, not just in Hawaii, but around the world. Surfers, lifeguards, and ocean lovers came together in a paddle-out ceremony, a sacred tradition in the surfing world. Hundreds of people floated in a massive circle on the water, holding hands, remembering, honoring. They shared stories. They laughed. They cried. The ocean was still the same. Powerful, unpredictable, beautiful. But for those who knew Tamayo, it would never feel quite the same again. And yet, the ocean remains undefeated. This wasn't just a freak accident. It was a warning. Shark attacks are rare, but they're becoming more frequent. Scientists say warming ocean temperatures, declining fish populations, and human activity are changing the behavior of marine predators. Could this be a glimpse into the future? Are we going to see more attacks like this? More experienced watermen and women falling victim to the creatures they have lived alongside for decades? Or was this just a tragic, one-in-a-million event that no one could have ever predicted? The truth is, we may never have a clear answer. But one thing is for sure, Tamayo Perry died doing what he loved. And if there's any silver lining in this tragedy, it's that his name will forever be spoken alongside legends. A man who lived for the waves, a man who died in the ocean's embrace. And now, it's your turn to decide. Are shark attacks like this just part of the risk of extreme sports? Or is this a sign that something bigger is happening in our oceans? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want more insane true stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive. Rest in peace, Tamayo Perry. The ocean will never forget you.